Hello everybody, my name is Rabbit and thank you so very much for joining me for what may or may not end up being a recurring series on my channel. I have had it requested numerous times that I do somewhat of a Q&A type thing, and I didn't want to make a formal video that ended up being 30 to 40 minutes long with me just answering a slew of questions. So I decided why not possibly just break it up and every once in a while upload a Q&A video wherein I answer somewhere between 1 to 3 questions, just depending on how long the questions are, or really I should say how long the answers for the questions happen to be. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. I guess since this is kind of the debut episode, I don't know if you guys are okay with me saying who is asking the actual question, so I will leave that anonymous here. If you don't care, feel free to state that in the future when you do ask me a question. If you do have something that you just absolutely must know or you would like to see in a future Q&A video, feel free to shoot me an email with your question. You can leave me a comment down below, or you are welcome to message me on my Facebook page. Those are kind of the 3 best ways of reaching me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with question number 1 being a very short, sweet, and simple one, but it is one that I get commonly asked, so I'm just going to put it out there right now. Question is, how old are you, Rabbit? And just so everybody knows, I am 26 years old. I am not sure how I'm going to look with this lighting and with the way that my hair is, but usually when I have my hair down, you guys know it's like really long and really curly. A lot of people often think that I'm still in my teens. I'm very commonly mistaken for being like 15, 16, sometimes 17, but usually never any older than 17 years old. And part of it is also because I am very petite. That's something else that I guess you can't really see in a video where you only see like from my chest up. But I am 4'11". Honestly, a little bit shorter than that, but I like to give myself the little bump up there in terms of height. But yeah, I'm a very petite girl, and I guess when my hair is down, it somehow makes my features look much more youthful and adolescent. I don't know, but yeah, I am 26, so for those of you who are wondering, no, I am not 15 years old playing video games on the internet. Question number 2, what was your first gaming console? And this is a really good question because since you guys know my age, that I am 26, I was born in 1989. So there were quite a few consoles that had come out prior to me being born, but that I still had the opportunity to experience because I did come from a very big gaming family. So the first console that I remember us actually having in our living room was the Atari VCS. I think the VCS stood for Video Computer System, I want to say, and I believe it was remarketed as the Atari 2600, but there were a couple Atari, I think there were a few Atari systems that were released, but the VCS was the first one that I remember playing on and I remember us having. But at the time when I was playing on the Atari VCS, we already had a couple other things that I played as well. But out of the consoles that we had, that was probably the oldest one that we had in our possession. So I guess that counts as the first gaming console. I hope anyway, because that's my answer. Alright, so let's go into the third and final question. What was the first video game you played that had a meaningful impact on you? And I think this question can be taken numerous ways. So the route that I'm going to actually take with this is not necessarily talking about what my favorite video game is, but talking about the first one that did in fact have some sort of significance to my life. This is a really weird thing to confess because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be astonished by this answer because there were a lot of games on many different consoles prior to this one that I did very much enjoy. There are plenty of games that I liked more than this one even on this console, but again, I'm just going to answer the question. The most meaningful game for me was Threads of Fate for the PlayStation 1. Now, like I was just saying, I know this sounds like a really weird answer, and some of you are probably thinking, what the hell? Did anyone even play Threads of Fate? So for those of you who have never even heard of this game, it was called Do Prism in Japan, and it came out around the same time as Chrono Cross, which was part of the problem why it, in my opinion, did not gain as much attention as it deserved, because Chrono Cross was an absolutely amazing game, and I like it just as much, if not slightly more, than Threads of Fate. But Threads of Fate in particular was very special for me because it was the very first game that I ever purchased with my own money. So I had saved up for so long, and I remember we had actually gotten a demo CD that allowed you to play through roughly the first hour, I would say, of Threads of Fate, and you also got to see the opening cinematic for Chrono Cross. So I was looking forward to both of these games, but there was something really charming to me about Threads of Fate. So I was 11 years old at the time. I remember when it came out. It was in, I believe, July of 2000 for North America, and I remember going to Walmart with my dad and going up and picking out Threads of Fate. I still, if you guys believe this or not, owned that original copy that I purchased so many freaking years ago, 15 years ago. And I don't know, just after buying it, I played through it so many times, and there was just something about the narrative that I can't even put it into words, just how it made me feel. And I actually felt like I was adventuring with Mint and Rue, and I fell in love with the characters, and I found Mint to be a very funny and a very quirky personality. It was just a really enjoyable experience for me. Now, I understand that part of this is probably clouded by nostalgia, since it was the very first game that I purchased with my own money. Up until that point, because remember, I was 11 when it came out. So up until that point, I had basically been playing games that my older brother bought, or games that my cousin would bring over, or things that my father would pick out. So I never actually had a say in the games that we owned, but with Threads of Fate, that was the first time where I actually was able to kind of let my opinion be put out there and have some sort of control over what was being played on our PlayStation 1. So yeah, guys, that's it for this first question and answers video. Like I said, I want to keep these pretty short, so those were the first 3 questions that I decided I would answer. Again, if there's something that you are particularly interested in knowing about me, feel free to ask anytime. You can leave it down in the comment section. Like I said, you can email me, or you are free to message me on Facebook. So yeah, I'm not sure when I will do another Q&A video, but I mean, this was pretty easy to make, and if I see that a lot of people are interested in me doing this, just so you can get to know me a little bit better outside of the games that I feature on this channel, then let that be known, because if I get enough positive feedback for this, then I will absolutely continue making these. So yeah, thanks again, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be in touch with you soon. Bye!